Your Excellency, hello.
Hello.
First of all, thank you so very much for having us. It is a great opportunity to have a small talk or interview with you. My first question is, and I don't have even the slightest clue, Chile. I mean, the authority is pro-Ukrainian. That much is absolutely obvious. But what about the people? What about the nation? What would you say?
Well, I'm here. I've been here for 3 months, and all these months, in all my meetings, I felt the warmth of the Chilean people. I felt the support from them. All the and other Chilean which I met here told me that were in solidarity with Ukraine, that were supporting our stride. That they were very supportive, and they felt a very good warmth towards Ukraine. So I never met here a Chilean that would think differently or say differently. So what I felt, I repeat, I'm only here for 3 months.
Right.
What I felt here is that all the Chilean people, or the most of the Chilean people, are supporting Ukraine.
It is great to hear that.
Yes.
How do you deliver the messages of Ukraine to people? Or how are you, better said, how are you planning, since you're only 3 months here in the position? So what are you going to do? How you're going to work?
Well, I have several plans on my mind. First of all, I've been very active on the media. So for this first month, I've been on TV, on radio. I've had some interviews on newspapers, and now since they are starting now their year, because March is like our September here. So I'm planning to go to the universities. I'm planning to go to the think tanks. I'm planning to go to some organizations which are public organizations or people's organizations to go to do some things with them, because I had already one event with a think tank which was dedicated to the second anniversary of the invasion. It was huge, very good. Many people came to see us. Many people came to this event, and also when we commemorated the second anniversary with our Ukrainian community, with the Chilean and with the foreign diplomats, there was a full house of people. So they were very supportive. And now I am planning to be more active in engaging with the civil society of Chile.
Right. So are you saying you're going to do that personally?
Yes, that's my task. One of my tasks here as ambassador of Ukraine, because besides maintaining the political dialogue, and we have a good political dialogue on different levels between the presidents, the foreign minister spoke a month ago. Now we are planning to our vice minister to come to Chile. So besides all that, we are also engaging in delivering the messages to the Chilean people, and that was one of my targets.
It is really great to hear, because I think that Ukraine lacks the personal efforts of ambassadors delivering the messages.
No, it has to be, I don't know how could it be differently, because we are a small embassy here. We are not in Europe, we are not in North America, so we are few people here, and all of us is giving the best to deliver these messages, and I personally myself would do all possible to deliver those messages, to keep the attention of Chileans towards Ukraine, because with all the wars and conflicts in the world, so we have to maintain this interest and this solidarity with Ukraine despite the distance, despite all the situation in the other parts of the world.
Absolutely. President Zelensky said that Latin America should be united in saying what is good and what is wrong and what's going on in Ukraine. And some countries, as we can see in Chile, for example, are absolutely, again, pro-Ukrainian, and some are not. What is the point? How come?
Well, the reason is that, for many years, the Russian propaganda in this area was huge, was enormous, and it was overwhelming. So in many countries, they have still very good, very strong economic ties with Russia. They are depending on the fertilizers, for instance, from Russia, and from other commodities from Russia. So they couldn't pronounce openly in favor of Ukraine. And here we have a very interesting thing, because the Chilean president, Gabriel Boric, is a leftist president. He has a very huge left government, and he's supported by the Socialist Party, by other left parties, and he's, I would say, the only left president from this region who actively supports Ukraine from the first day of the invasion. On the first day, on the 24th of February, he spoke already. He was not in the office at that time. He was elected as president, but he delivered a strong message in support of Ukraine the first day of the invasion. And since then, he was repeating that in all the fora, in all the international organizations. So it's very strong, and he's not the right leader like other leaders who are supporting Ukraine. So
well, exactly. This was my question. I mean, some leaders, every country has this way or the other way is connected to Russia, economically, politically. Somehow, it is a fact. Russia is there, it is not going anywhere, at least, in the nearest future. But some leaders are so courageous, they are telling things as they are. And some are just trying to swirl around the truth and doing their best and calling this politics. Well, maybe it's not.
No, I can agree on that. Really, there are too many leaders in this region who are trying to say the words which are not correct. And in this regard, the President Boric of Chile is a very strong leader. And I would say I'm very happy as an ambassador to be here to work in this country, because well, every time I go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, on every level that I speak with the deputy, with senators, with employees of the ministry, they all repeat the same because it was spoken by the president. It was told by the president that there is an aggressor, there is a country which is a victim of the aggression.
Here we go.
Yes. So very clear. There is a violation of international law here. That's also what's said by President Boric. So in this regard, I think it is a little bit easier for me to work in this country, because I don't have to persuade at least the leadership of the country of that. Yes, I have to deliver the message to the people. I have to keep the attention to the Ukraine, but I don't have
the tone of voice. You have the same tone of voice.
Yes, but I don't have to persuade or to convince the leaders of the country or the foreign ministry. They are all on the same page.
Great. It is really great to hear that.
Yes, yes.
I know someone in Kiev. His name is Sebastian Schmidt. You probably don't know who he is, but he is a Chilean military person who is fighting in Ukraine, for Ukraine, and not only stands for Ukraine, but actually spills his blood because he was recently wounded quite heavily. Are there any Ukrainians that are serving in Chilean army? Just for instance, maybe.
No, I don't know such people.
But what it takes for a Chilean person, for a guy from Chile, far, far away from politics, from everything, it shouldn't be something really important. The core value that he really respects is the value of freedom. That's what he told me. And he's going through a rehabilitation process at the moment. And I brought you a little something from him, actually. It is a patch that he invented by himself. And I will give it to you right now.
Thank you. Wow. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gennady. It's a real precious gift for me, because I know that there are some Chileans, there are more Colombians and Ecuadorians fighting in Ukraine. I mean that people from this region, from the very start of this full-scale invasion, they wanted to help somehow to Ukraine. So they went to Ukraine through our military attaché. So they enlisted in the Ukrainian armed forces, and they are fighting. Unfortunately, some of them have died already. But if you ask me what moves them to that, I think it's what you said. It's a spirit of freedom. So they don't want just to be indifferent in face of this aggression, which is very cruel and very unprovoked aggression. So they have to fight somehow to defend the freedom of our country and the freedom of the whole world in the end. So.
Well, we really do believe that. And this is what the main message is to deliver to the world. The world is in danger. The dictatorship is not going anywhere. We have to deal with it. And we have to deal with it personally. This is exactly what Sebastian does. And this is exactly for what you do, Your Excellency. Because you are dealing with the problems personally. And it is great pleasure and honor to be here and to speak with you. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Gennady. Thank you for coming here. And I would like to say that we are very far away from Ukraine. It's one of the farthest embassies we have in Ukraine. But still, we are fighting here for Ukraine. And fighting here to keep more assistance, to keep more help, to give more, provide more help to our country, which is suffering from this full-scale invasion. And this is our target, and we are doing our job here as we can do it.
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Дякую.
Дякую.